Jon Anik revealed a very different side of his relationship with the UFC during his appearance on the latest Jackson podcast, and the takeaway was clear: he is not happy with how the promotion treats him contractually. While breaking down his intense fight week schedule and the grind of preparing for back-to-back numbered events like UFC 324 and UFC 325, Anik opened up about a clause in his deal that clearly bothers him. Despite being a full-time UFC employee and one of the most trusted voices in the sport, his contract allows the UFC to fire him at any time without cause. He admitted this was the first time his own agent had ever seen that kind of language in a broadcaster's deal, which says a lot about how unusual and one-sided it is. The way Jon framed it made it obvious this is not something he is comfortable with. He acknowledged that many broadcasters in similar positions have guaranteed contracts while he does not, and the comment carried real frustration. For someone who pours countless hours into preparation, research, and travel, the lack of basic job security clearly weighs on him. For fans, this was a really surprising moment. Alright, let's see what Jon had to say.
Certainly after the Leon Edwards knockout and the way people responded to that call was certainly a special moment, but they can fire me without cause at any time.
But the UFC fight fans would rebel and probably just boycott all fights.
Well, a lot of broadcasters have guaranteed contracts though, but anyway.
That's a nice one to slip in there.
I mean,
John,
on your
when
show,
do we get the guarantee? When do we get the 10-year max deal?
Obviously, I'm just saying, like, if you don't think that, a couple
so
bad shows.
So you're in a fight-to-fight contract?
No, I'm a full-time employee, but they can fire me without cause. That was the first time my agent had done a broadcaster's deal with that type of language, Well,
anyway, if it makes you feel better, same here.
Right. Back-to-back numbered events, UFC 324 and UFC 325 next year is going to be a pretty big challenge, right? Because I won't be able to turn the page to those potentially 34 athletes at UFC 325 until the Sunday after UFC 324. But I will have pre-voiced UFC 325 during the week for UFC 324.
Diego Lopes just discussed his rematch with Alex Volkanovski. Most fans aren't exactly excited about this fight, as the first fight already gave a clear picture, and with Volk nearing retirement, fans want fresh, high-stakes matchups instead of repeats. Diego, however, is fully focused on making this second fight count. He admits the first fight was tougher than expected, realizing Volk moves exceptionally well and had a flawless game plan. Since that fight, Lopes has completely revamped his training approach. He identified weaknesses in his previous camp, stripped away distractions, and built a private gym just for himself and his team. Now he has a dedicated cage and a controlled environment, allowing him to focus entirely on preparation. Lopes feels this camp has corrected all the mistakes from the first fight, giving him the confidence to approach this rematch differently and on his own terms. Every aspect of training has been tailored to exploit Volkanovski's patterns and take advantage of every opportunity, promising to make this rematch more than just a repeat. Fans may still be skeptical, but Diego has made it clear this fight is his moment to prove he's leveled up, and he is prepared to make the most of it.
This is like more difficult for the takedown. I fixed this in my training camp. If I have the opportunity for takedown, I take down him. This is 100%.
Okay.
But yeah, for the fish fight, I don't feel confidence for takedown. No, wow. I don't feel confidence because like this, he moved very well. His game plan is perfect. I remember it's like I listed the Volkanovski corner. Every time he stay in my front, the guy say he game plan. He started back to the game plan. No? So it's like whole credit to for Volkanovski. Like this, he's make a great job in Ebro.
So what did you learn from that first fight?
Oh, I learned a lot. It's like when I have the fight with Volk, I have this a little bit ego, no? Like I think I don't need to fix many things in my training camp. I think anything is good,
right.
But after the fight, I see many things like it's not good in my training camp. So after this fight, I fix many things, I fix many things.
Michael Morales just sat down with Spanish ESPN journalist Papa Legaspi and confirmed some massive news. According to Michael himself, a title fight between Islam Makhachev and himself is currently in the works, and he even mentioned potential dates being discussed behind the scenes. Morales also addressed the recent topology controversy, where his record was briefly changed after older fights were reclassified as professional. He revealed that after internal discussions involving his manager, the show's production team, and topology, the issue was resolved, and his his record has now been reverted back to undefeated status. The Ecuadorian explained how the situation unfolded, why he felt the change was unfair, and how everything was eventually cleared up. Until Morales spoke publicly, the welterweight title fight was only rumored to be targeted for the White House card. Now, Michael has revealed June or July as the target date, which strongly suggests the UFC is lining up Islam Makhachev against Morales for that event. What further supports this is Islam himself recently saying the UFC offered him Morales back in January, an offer he had to turn down at the time. There were a lot of interesting details in this interview, so we translated the full breakdown for you. Let's dive in.
I was surprised when my record was modified because they tried to count a fight that was never official. It happened inside a TV show in Ecuador back in 2017 called The Last Fight. It was clearly explained to us that these were exhibition fights. They were not going to count on our professional records. It was just a recorded television show. The rounds were shorter, the format was similar to The Ultimate Fighter, and you advanced in phases. I lost one of those fights, but it was never meant to be professional. I have never denied that loss. I have always said I lost a fight when I was 17 years old. I say it in every interview. But it was not a professional fight with 3 5-minute rounds. It was not under Sherdog or Topology standards. And it should never count on my record. Topology did not investigate the event properly. My manager contacted them, and even the producers confirmed the event was not official. I fought at different weights in the same show, which alone proves it was not professional. After reviewing everything, my record went back to normal at 19-0. Now, we move forward. We are waiting for fight number 20, and it's going to be big. We are already in talks about a title fight. It is actively being worked on. The timing depends on the health of the opponent, possibly June or July, but everything is moving forward, and I am ready to go.
Michael Chandler just shared his take on the highly anticipated Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett matchup. When breaking down UFC 324, Chandler highlighted how Justin is more skilled, more experienced, and simply the more complete fighter overall. That said, he didn't overlook Pimblett, pointing out that many fans underestimate him. People tend to judge Paddy based on his haircut, his personality, or his talk, but Mike stressed that his skill level and fight IQ are far higher than most give him credit for. Michael reflected on his own experience facing Paddy. He saw firsthand just how patient, composed, and dangerous Pimblett can be, with a long reach, precise kicks, and a calculated approach inside the cage. Even so, he believes Gaethje is a completely different animal. Ferocious, aggressive, and relentless. Chandler leans toward the highlight as the likely interim champion if he had to pick, but he made it clear that Paddy is not an easy fight by any means. On top of that, he teased something huge. Conversations are happening with the UFC about a potential Conor McGregor fight at the White House. He said the odds are higher than they've ever been, and things are moving in that direction. Mike also revealed that he's about to start training very soon, laser focused on June, hinting that if this fight happens, he wants to be ready to make it explosive. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.